What is the place that is very important to you?
I would say church.
Why is this place important to you?
It gives me a sense of peace and calm and a sense of protection and guidance when I need it the most.
Did you go through something that pushed you to turn to church?
I've always been raised in church since I was very young. I don't remember never being in church. But, however, I got saved when I was 12. And like most people, as you grow up, you tend to get distracted and you get pulled away from God. Your relationship with God is not where it should be. You make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And you don't have that close relationship with God as you should have. But I have had different trials that I've had to face personally. One of the ones that probably has influenced me the most and probably impacted my family the most would be when I found out I had a brain tumor.
Can you tell us a little bit about the brain tumor?
I had a pituitary brain tumor. But what happens is if you draw a circle, that is your head, and you draw an X, the tumor is right there. It's dead center in the middle, right where that X comes together. Mine normally, you'll have signs of losing your peripheral vision. You'll have severe headaches. You'll have periods of just unbelievable pain through your head and your neck. Most of mine was the headaches. It started out, I was working in a garden and got ill, and I just didn't feel right. And by the time I got to the house, I had passed out after I got in the house. And I called my husband, and he checked on me about every 15 to 20 minutes for the rest of the afternoon. And I started feeling better. But then about a week later, I started getting the headaches. And they were just horrendous headaches.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started running tests on me, and that's when they found the tumor.
How did this affect the people closest to you?
It was really pretty horrible because the headaches were so bad. I can understand how people kill themselves when they're in severe pain. That's how bad they were. I couldn't stand to be around my children. I couldn't stand any noise. My husband would keep the kids away from me, and I would go into the other room and shut the door, and I would have ice packs on my head to try to help ease it. Nothing would help. And then I remember the day that I had the MRI done, and they said that that's what it was. And then my sister's a doctor, and she was the one that was trying to figure out what was going on. And she told me that it was a tumor, and for me to stay calm until she found out where was the best place for me to go. Church to me is not a building so much as it is the relationship you have with Jesus. And I couldn't get by without that relationship. I mean, it's who I turn to when I have problems. I pray for my children. It's who guides me and comforts me and gets me where I need to be.
At what point in your life did you realize church meant so much more than what many people see it as?
I've always had a sense of how important it is, but I can remember being a little girl and Dad and Mom having us all read. We had a big family Bible, and we would read the Bible as kids. There were 6 of us, and we would take turns reading it. And, you know, it was always instilled in me. But I think as you grow older and you become more dependent, I have become more dependent on God as far as guidance and direction and wisdom for not just my life, but myself personally, but within my marriage, and raising our children, and I think it's, and I'm sure there's young children that have that connection already. And at times when I was younger, I did, because there were times that I needed that guidance and needed forgiveness and needed mercy and grace, just like everybody else does.
How would you describe not just church, but the place that you feel so safe? How would you describe that to people on the outside looking in?
I don't see how people live in the world that we live in today without a relationship with Jesus Christ. I just don't see how they do it. I don't see how you can get by. I don't see how people can make it through one day to the next with all the crazy stuff that's going on, and people are facing it all the time. I mean, every day.
So how do you think all of this with church and with your tumor, how do you think this has changed your life?
I remember the day that Laura called to tell me that I had the tumor. I hung up the phone. I was at home by myself. I hung up the phone, and I put my hands down on the counter where I was sitting, and I remember telling God that, you know, when you get some kind of news like that, because I didn't know if it was cancer or not, or I didn't know what it was exactly. I just knew there was something there that wasn't supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you'll make all kinds of deals, or try to get yourself out of stuff. And I was like, I put my hands down and I just said, Lord, whatever this is, give me the grace to get through it. And I will witness for you. I will do whatever you need me to do. I will be open to hear you, well, no matter what it is. And then I started crying. And then I was finished. And I felt the most amazing calm came over me.